Here's something that I find interesting when it comes to Onyx. The reason why is because Chain, which is on the Onyx ecosystem, and by the way, Onyx did rebrand from Chain to Onyx, but even besides that point, Chain, I've seen a post where they talk about RWAs, more specifically real world assets, and they're talking about RWA tokens. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, and still despite XCN being quite low at this point, around 54 times more than 25 cents, I still think this is something that I want to consider, because if I take a look at it, why do I think this could matter for the future of Onyx? Because Chain, which recently upgraded to ISO 20022, by the way, but even besides that, being focused on something like RWA tokens, I think is something that could be fantastic. RWA tokens, they're digital representations of physical assets on the blockchain. For instance, they could be in a use case for art or real estate, also a bunch of other things, but I'm just giving some examples there. And that right there seems to be a pretty big narrative, because we see something like Hedera, a lot of activity regarding RWAs is kind of going on when it comes to that. Also, I take a look at VeChain, I take a look at Chainlink, and also some others. So the bigger projects, we've seen them kind of have a shift towards this, right, somewhat, to a certain extent. And when I see Chain having an aspect of RWAs, I think that right there is pretty cool, because at the end of the day, I mean, if let's say there was a hypothetical altcoin season, maybe people might take a look at stuff like this and they see that, okay, something that is on the Onyx ecosystem, being focused on that, that could sometimes trickle down to the sentiment of Onyx in a hypothetical scenario. But we'll wait and see. Keep in mind as well, when it comes to Onyx, people like to tell me that, Chain is kind of useless, but if we think about it, Chain even powers the Ethereum bridge on Goliath, which is Onyx's layer 1 blockchain. Keep in mind, I've seen the Ethereum bridge again on the testnet, and supposedly that is powered by Chain, but again, when it comes to the mainnet, that's still, supposedly work in progress. I'll have to wait and see when it comes to the actual launch of the mainnet of Goliath, but at the same time, at least Onyx is doing something. I like Chain overall, because I think that's pretty cool. Not to mention, I just think that it's pretty impressive seeing what Onyx is doing so far, even though, again, XCN is having a major pullback. And also, let's just take this into consideration, right? When it comes to Chain, not that long ago, they were talking about Chain 2.0, in which case they say it was built on Onyx. So isn't that pretty cool? I mean, again, there's at least some activity when it comes to Onyx. It's not like it's useless, in my opinion. It may not be doing the most things, but at least there's something going on with it. And actually, even despite all this, the thought of 25 cents still hasn't left my mind, which some people may think is so ridiculous because XCN is having such a major pullback. But at the same time, let's take this into consideration. XCN has around 145,000 holders. Again, right? Having around 145,000 holders isn't that easy. And this is with XCN having a major pullback. Keep in mind, when it comes to XCN, people like to tell me, oh, this is kind of useless, no one cares about it. But let's just take a look at not that long ago, when it comes to 2025. At one point, the market cap was around $1 billion. And still, as of right now, again, market cap is below 200 million, but I'm saying it still has around 145,000 holders, which I think is very impressive. And also, I just want to take this into consideration as well. If XCN just went back to where it once was at a 1 billion market cap, in which we saw in 2025, we're over 5 times lower than that. Let's just say we ignore an altcoin season. We don't think about an altcoin season, right? Let's just say we assume, hypothetically, XCN goes back to a 1 billion market cap. So we're over 5 times lower than that, by the way, right? Is Bitcoin over 5 times lower than its all-time high? No, it's not. So the thing is this. If, let's say, XCN just went back to where it once was, around $1 billion market cap right there, anything that I dollar cost average right now, and it goes back there, I mean, again, we're over 5 times lower than that. That's just kind of my mindset. Personally, if it just even goes back to like $1 billion market cap, that's already going to Sizzler time right there. Time to go to Applebee's, time to go to Red Lobster or Chili's or something like that. At the end of the day, really, I think when it comes to XCN, even just going back to $1 billion market cap, like that already seems a little bit impressive to me. ignoring an altcoin season, right? Now, if there was an actual hypothetical altcoin season, that's a little bit different. I'm thinking about 25 cents, but I'm saying, does anyone think that XCN, let's just say back in February, back in January, basically around that time, does anyone think that was an altcoin season when it comes to this space? Of course, I'm talking about January and February of 2025, right? I'm not talking about this year, but I'm saying, like, again, back in 2025, in January or February, does anyone think that was an altcoin season? I highly doubt it. So XCN has already showcased that it was able to reach around $1 billion in market cap without an altcoin season. And keep in mind, again, it reached $1 billion in market cap, right? But at 25 cents, the market cap at that point, considering the current circulating supply of XCN, again, the market cap would be around 9 billion. So not that long ago, XCN was only around 9 times lower than a 9 billion market cap, in which it would have at 25 cents if we consider the current circulating supply of XCN. It's not like that far off, not that long ago. Because, again, we just didn't see an altcoin season. So is that something so outlandish? Yeah, I don't know if I think about it that way. That's just my mindset. And keep in mind, back in 2022, XCN reached almost 3 billion in terms of market cap. So 9 billion was like not even that far off that point either. So yeah, besides that point though, this is just kind of my mindset currently when it comes to XCN. So I'm just still waiting, still holding. I don't have to, but I'm just doing it voluntarily because that's what I'm choosing to do. I still like the project overall. And really also, by me waiting, it's just like whatever, right? There's no time limit for me. I'm just waiting. So that's the way you take a look at it. I'm just going to continue to wait. That's kind of my mindset. Again, I don't have to do this. It's like, for instance, do I have to play tennis? No, but sometimes if I want to, it would have to be a choice, right? A voluntarily choice on my part. I'm just saying I haven't played tennis in such a long time, in many, many years, but I'm just saying that's like an example. So when I take a look at something like Onyx, again, do I think it's such a bad project? I don't think about it that way. I mean, even if we take a look at it in the global trade and finance space, within this space, it's still top 5, even below, or should I say, let me correct myself there, even with a below 200 million market cap, it's still arguably top 5. Number 1, Ripple. Number 2, Stellar. Number 3, XDC. Number 4, arguably, is Zebic. Number 5, as of right now, is Onyx. So it's still top 5 within its space. And the thing is, XLM's having a pullback, XDC, ZBCN, and as well as XCN. So it's not only just this, right? The whole space overall is having a pullback, generally speaking. So if I take a look at something like that, at a time when a bunch of things are having a pullback, I'm going to focus on the ones that actually have the substance, the fundamentals. So this is why I have not given up, personally, when it comes to Onyx. And again, still being top 5 even as of right now, still having around 145,000 holders. I think that is quite impressive because a lot of people would have probably thought maybe the amount of holders would drop to like below 100,000. That would probably be a fair assumption, right? Considering XCN is below 200 million, but that's actually not the case. XCN has been holding up pretty okay in terms of the amount of holders. So I still find this pretty impressive. Now, granted, right, the sentiment hasn't been the best as of late, but if the community is good, if the project is actually having substance in terms of the fundamentals, I just have a hard time seeing it be forgotten about if there was a hypothetical altcoin season. XCN is currently ranked 145th in the world as we speak in terms of market cap within this space. 145th, keep in mind. So it's still top 150 within this space. It's not like it just became like all the way 700th ranked or 800th ranked. No, it's actually ranked 145th, which I still find to be pretty impressive actually. Some people out there still believe in Luna Classic. Keep in mind, Luna Classic has a higher market cap as of right now than XCN. Luna Classic is ranked 125th in the world within this space in terms of market cap, and the market cap is like around 230 million. Instead of Luna Classic, I'd rather believe in this. This is the way to take a look at it. I mean, what is Luna Classic going to do, really, in terms of the fundamentals? I mean, come on, right? People treat it like a meme at this point in some cases. But this is just my mindset. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But if I think about it, right? Luna Classic, bigger market cap than XCN, right? Also on top of that, what are the fundamentals really? I don't see much. XCN, lower market cap, good amount of holders, actual fundamentals, top 5 within the space of global trade and finance, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give up on this. If there's still people believing Luna Classic, I don't know why I'd give up when it comes to XCN. So what? Luna Classic is suddenly going to have such a bright future and something like this won't? I mean, I have a hard time believing that, but this is just kind of my mindset. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. However, that's pretty much about it. I'm going to continue to make more updated videos when it comes to Onyx, and hopefully y'all stay tuned for that. It's been Lee the Captain, and I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.